Have you ever wondered if a place can hold on to its past? Not just memories, but something more, something spectral. Do you believe a luxurious cruise liner, a symbol of elegance and adventure, could become a home for restless spirits? Tonight we raise setting sail into the darkness to explore the story of the Queen Mary, a ship known around the world not just for its history, but as the most haunted ship on the planet. Launched way back in 1936, the Queen Mary was the pinnacle of ocean travel. Imagine the grandest hotel you can think of, but floating on the sea. It was the jewel of the Cunard Line, ferrying the rich and famous across the Atlantic in unparalleled style. But its glamorous life took a sharp turn with the outbreak of World War II. Stripped of its lavish furnishings and painted a haunting shade of gray, it was transformed into a troop ship. Because of its color and incredible speed, it earned a chilling nickname, the Gray Ghost. It transported over 800,000 soldiers during the war, playing a crucial role but also witnessing immense tragedy and loss. For the war, the Queen Mary was restored to her former glory and returned to passenger service. For 2 more decades, she ruled the waves. But by the late 1960s, the age of air travel had dawned, and the era of grand ocean liners was coming to an end. In 1967, she embarked on her final voyage not to a scrapyard, but to a new home in Long Beach, California. There she remains, permanently docked, a majestic floating hotel museum, a beacon for those who seek the paranormal. But why is this ship so famous for its ghosts? The legends say the hauntings began long before it became a tourist attraction. The ship's long and dramatic history is filled with stories of untimely deaths. One of the most infamous tales is that of a young crew member, just a teenager, who was tragically crushed to death by a massive watertight door in the engine room. A door now known as Door 13. Staff and visitors alike have reported hearing strange, disembodied metallic footsteps echoing in the engine room when no one is there. Could it be the spirit of that young man, forever replaying his final moments? He's not the only one said to still roam the ship's decks. The Queen Mary has several paranormal hotspots, each with its own resident ghost and chilling story. Let's talk about the swimming pools. First Class Pool is one of the most active areas. Though the pool has been drained and closed off for decades, visitors on ghost tours consistently report seeing wet footprints appear on the dry floor, leading from the changing rooms to the empty pool. They also hear the distinct sounds of splashing water and faint echoing laughter. But the most unsettling presence here is that of a young girl. Many people claim to have seen the silhouette of a little girl, often described as wearing an old-fashioned dress, running and playing around the pool area. Sometimes they just hear her giggling or calling out for her mommy. The most well-known of these spirits is a little girl named Jackie, who is said to have tragically drowned in the second-class pool. People leave toys for her, and some claim the toys move on their own as if an unseen child is playing with them. The hauntings aren't confined to the old common areas. They spill over into the staterooms where guests now sleep. Imagine checking into your hotel room only to have strange things happen. Guests have reported objects moving by themselves, a glass sliding across a table, a suitcase toppling over for no reason. Others hear insistent, loud knocking on their doors late at night, only to open them and find the hallway completely empty. It's a classic haunting trope, but on the Queen Mary, it's a regular complaint. Perhaps the most terrifying experience reported by guests is waking up in the middle of the night to see a figure standing or sitting in their room. One of the most famous apparitions is that of a tall, dark man in a 1930s-style suit, often seen near stateroom B340. This room is considered so active that for many years the hotel refused to rent it out. The phenomena were just too intense, ranging from the lights and water turning on and off by themselves, to the bed sheets being violently ripped off sleeping guests. It's not just guests who have these experiences. The staff who work on the Queen Mary every day have countless stories. They've heard unexplained screams echoing through empty hallways, the sounds of children laughing and playing in areas that are strictly off limits, and the eerie sound of water running in the drained first-class pool. Paranormal investigators who visit the ship are rarely disappointed. Their equipment, like EMF detectors which measure electromagnetic fields, often spikes dramatically in the most allegedly haunted areas, suggesting the presence of an unseen energy. Tourists have even captured what they believe is photographic and video evidence, from strange orbs of light to hazy white figures appearing and disappearing in the ship's long, dark corridors. So, what's really going on here? Skeptics and scientists offer several rational explanations. They suggest that the strange sounds could be auditory illusions, caused by the ship's old structure, the groaning of metal, the hum of machinery, or when whizzing through the vents. Feelings of being watched or sudden cold spots could be attributed to infrasound, low-frequency noises that are below the range of human hearing, but can still cause feelings of anxiety and unease. Some also point to magnetic field interference from the ship's complex wiring, which can affect the human brain and create hallucinations. Another theory is that of collective memory, the idea that so many people expect to have a paranormal experience on the Queen Mary that their minds create one. But for believers and for those who have had a first-hand experience, these explanations fall short. The paranormal theories are far more compelling. They propose that the spirits of sailors, soldiers, and passengers who died aboard the ship are still tied to it. At least 49 recorded deaths during its service. There are plenty of candidates. The ship was a place of high emotion, joy, celebration, but also fear, tragedy, and loss, especially during the war. Some paranormal experts believe that this intense energy has been imprinted onto the ship itself, creating a residual haunting where events from the past replay like a broken record. Then there are those who believe the Queen Mary is more than just a haunted ship. They see it as something far more profound and mysterious, a gateway, a vortex, or a portal between our world and the world of the spirits. They argue that the sheer number and variety of paranormal phenomena can't be explained by simple hauntings alone. It's as if the ship itself acts as a massive antenna, attracting and concentrating spiritual energy from the other side. So, is the Queen Mary just a product of our overactive imaginations? A masterpiece of marketing built on old creeks and shadows? Or is it truly a cursed vessel, a ghost ship carrying a crew of the dead? The stories are endless, the evidence is tantalizing, and the mystery endures. The only way to know for sure is to experience it for yourself. But let me ask you this, if you had the chance, would you dare step aboard at night? Will you walk its haunted hallways and sleep in its spectral staterooms, waiting to see who or what might pay you a visit? Thanks for joining us on this dive into the unknown. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Let us know in the comments if you've ever been to the Queen Mary or if you'd be brave enough to go. Until next time, stay curious.